And here we go again, ladies and gents. We're into game 4 here. We have ourselves a bit of a series between MG, Nitro, and 7men fighting to punch their ticket into the finals, where the winner of this will play against Xnol here, the other sort of undefeated-ish team near the top of the Noxus standings. And so far, this series has been absolutely amazing. The pace of this game is just accelerated, completely out of control. Game 1 saw MG Nitro dominating 7men in a very fast 20-minute surrender, but Game 2 saw 7men just fighting back, stalling out and coming back. Still a very high pace but drawn out game. And Game 3, my goodness, 80 kills in, what was that, 28 minutes? 26 minutes? That was just an absolute bloodbath. And I thought 7men versus Vengeful Reapers would have been the most bloody series. I think that one game alone might have topped that series there. And now we're into Game 4. So we have another game between these two absolutely insane teams. And we'll have to see if they continue to keep up this pace, because frankly, it's a little crazy here. And for this game, there are some changes. 7men going to be on the blue side. Their roster's the same, but MG Nitro opting to switch things up a little bit here. They're going to be on the red side, and they've actually shifted the Bread Smuggler from the bottom lane to the top lane. So I questioned how they're going to deal with the Darius. Well, apparently they're going to chuck a whole different player up there to handle it, and instead for support they've brought in MG Control, who sat on their roster for most of the split. And now hopping straight into picks and bans, 7men with the Vayne, Ornn, Set, Galio, and Kassadin. So that's a new one. They're banning Set here. That will be targeted against the Bread Smuggler, who is new to that top lane here. MG Nitro, they're going to continue banning the Kill. This time switching out the Ezreal for the Ashe, and they're putting the Darius ban in. So not only are they changing up who's going to be facing Bright and Bush, but they just don't want to give Bright and Bush that Darius here. The team will just a placeholder ban for the use of eSub Bread Smuggler. And as I look at the picks here, I have to wonder what both these teams are doing. 7men instantly picking up the Ezreal. They get themselves the Vi, and that makes me go, why on earth did they not ban the Vi again? They've given Teemin his most played champion once again, and we already saw how devastating Teemin is on this Vi. It was banned for good reason. So we'll have to see whether they did sort out a solution to that or not. Swain being picked up for the Ascendant again, and Syndra. I have very mixed feelings about this Syndra right now for Alpals. It had a very poor showing here in Game 3, so we'll have to see if Alpals can change it up. I mean, in theory, the combination of Vi and Syndra is extremely potent, but we never saw that coming through against the Diana in Game 3. Hopefully, we will see it here. And it's going to be the Shen for Bright and Bush in that top lane, and we did see Shen yesterday in the DOV Chaos versus Prismatic Esports game, and Shen struggled to really be of any use in that series. We'll have to see if Bright and Bush can make better use of this champion, but that means Bright and Bush will not be on a carry champion this game. We'll have to see how that turns out for him here. He did have limited effectiveness on tanks. For MG Nitro, they picked up the Thresh, the Kaisa, the Orianna, Zac, and Volibear, so they're going for a much more standard comp. So I expect we're not going to see that wild death cage match we saw last game, where everybody just seemed to go bloodthirsty, and as soon as they saw somebody, it was see hero, kill hero sort of mentality. I'm hoping, well, looking from the draft from MG Nitro, I'm expecting we're not going to quite see that again. Instead, they've got themselves a ball delivery system. Looks like they'll play a much more measured game here. I like the composition from MG Nitro, and I think if they can control the pacing of the game a little bit better, slow it down, they'll have a much better time of it. The only issue, though, is they gave the Vi over to 7men, and we've seen what Teemin does. Teemin accelerates the pace of the game. So we'll have to see if they can survive the early onslaught and look to transition into that late to mid to late sort of game there, where they can do a lot more here. And without further ado, we are going to head right back to Summoner's Rift here for this 4th game, and it is going to be MG Nitro with their backs up against the wall here. They cannot afford to lose another game here, or 7men are going to sweep it. And if they're anything like the other Noxus playoff games we've seen thus far, they should be firing back. You can already see the adaptations they've made, and they're going to look for an invade. Despite being down, despite their backs against the wall, they've decided, you know what? We have nothing to lose here. Let's do the invade. They do have the Thresh as well, and they're going to miss out Muxtar just barely here. Muxtar throwing the Mystic Shot will not find them, and like ships passing in the night, they're not going to see each other MG Control going to turn the corner here. The question is, do they get spotted out by Muxtar? No, they don't. They're in the bush, and Muxtar! Oh, no! He gets completely wrecked, and that's going to be first blood going to MG Nitro. He did not see the sneak into the bush. A great start for MG Nitro. Really, really sneaky play. Loving that level 1 invade there, and that's going to give MG Piglet an extra Doran's ring to start into lane. And what a start for MG Nitro. They needed to win this game, and this is one way to start it. That being said, we already saw how resilient both these teams are. A lot of times, they don't care if they've, lost sort of an advantage there, and they are going to try and sneak the red buff away. A good ward from the Bread Smuggler. Going to spot this one out. So they're going to know that they had the red buff stolen away, and I expect that we're going to see Vertigo jungling here. As the throw guard going to immediately run over to the other red buff on the other side here. And the question is Teemin going to just let him? It looks like he's actually going to go down. He recognizes that, well, they saw me, so they're going to go for my red buff, and I win the early trades here. I've got red buff, and I'm the Vi, and he's going to go in for a throw guard. A throw guard has to be careful. He's walked out here of the bush. Did they see him come across? I don't think they did. I think he's just trying to pull that out, but that's ended up wasting a ton of time here. Oh no, they did see, sorry, there is that ward here, and Teemin not going to get this one, not going to see anything, and both junglers now going to be set behind to start off the game. A very interesting start here, especially since Teemin is that aggressive player who likes to make early plays. To have wasted time here is going to set him behind, and we'll have to see how that works out. So we are going to see vertical jungling for now, and the Bread Smuggler, he's basically vision, and he steals it, he flashes it and steals the blue buff away from Teemin. Teemin not going to be happy. And MG Nitro, they look completely unfazed from that Bloodbath game. They've reset. They're back in here and going to brawl and looking to fight every little advantage they can here in this game form. And this is really going to set Teemin actually quite far behind right now. He does not hit that level 3. He did not get the blue buff. So from trying to 3 buff, he himself is actually going to get 3 buffed here, as it is going to be a Bread Smuggler picking up that blue buff. And even worse for him is that Volibear is going to be able to just spam his spells repeatedly here in that top lane. Going to make things so much harder for Bright and Bush. And now MG Control getting pulled under turret is going to lose quite a bit of health here for now. Didn't take any turret shots, just could not trade back, because if he did apply any damage, he would have drawn turret aggro here. And it is going to be Scuttle going over to Alpals on this Syndra. It looks like they're just constantly trying to fight for little objectives, and now a throw guard coming in for Alpals. Can he get away? He flashes under turret. He looks like he's going to be safe, just barely. He's fine, and Teemin punishing Piglet for the desperation, trying to get that kill there. And Teemin finding a kill back, something he vastly needed here to try and even things out. We did see the roam up from MG Boat and Control as well. They don't find anything for now, and the Bread Smuggler comes down as well. And they end up giving up quite a bit of CS here, uncontested CS, to the side lanes, which are going to be great for them, because Bright and Bush kind of needed it. He was getting shoved under turret. That blue buff was messing him up a little bit, but now he's had time. He's actually got himself a bit of a level lead. That will normalize out, though, as the huge wave pushing into the Bread Smuggler here. And in this bot side, Muxtar with the Ezreal and MG Boat with the Kai'Sa. The longer they can stall out, the better, because we've already seen Muxtar knows exactly how to play this Ezreal into this Kai'Sa. He just needs to survive the early game, and now we're seeing that gank into the mid lane. This is that strength we talked about. The Syndra Vi combination that just puts out so much damage. Even pre-6, they don't even need to unleash any power. They don't need the Syndra ultimate there. They can just brute force that one, and that is MG Piglet getting burst down, and we can expect to see this over and over again. The teleport coming back for MG Piglet into lane here will only come back really with Boots and Sapphire Crystal, and honestly, Boots won't matter against the CC that both Syndra and Vi can put out. So Teemin can look to just repeat this gank into the mid lane here. Bot lane, the Ascendant doing really, really well against MG Control. He's struggling a little bit, it looks like, taking a lot of poke here And that's bad news for MG Bolt, because MG Bolt wants to sort of run over the lane. Has shown that mechanically he's strong enough to win this matchup. Can't even hold 1v2, but to get kills, he needs the assistance of his support here. And so far, MG Control struggling to land those death sentences and not get poked down. And even if he does land a death sentence right now, there's a very good chance he goes down in exchange for that death sentence. Now we do see a Throguard looking to try and sneak in with the Zac here. Little does he know though, Teemin is here as well. And MG Control might have overstepped. He's going to have to flash away, but can he get out? Because Teemin's here as well. Throguard thankfully was on the side there in, and he gets a beautiful 3-man knockup with the slingshot. Teemin trying to put out the damage. They do find MG Control first, and Teemin might go down, but he's bought so much time. They've turned onto MG Bolt now. There is a double kill as they do manage to pick up another kill, and now a Throguard is dead. Brighton Bush coming down. Did use the Stand United. He leveled up just in time to help out this bot lane here, and they do manage to trade, it looks like 2 for 2 here. So fairly even trade for now. The only problem is that Stand United is gonna cost Sprite and Bush some pressure in lane. He does go back to base, pick up the Bombing Cinder as well as the armor, and he's back up there. The only issue is that I'm not sure armor is the right thing to build right away into that Volibear. Volibear, a bit of mixed damage here in the early game. A lot of his damage is AP more than AD, and he did build the double Duran's Ring. And you're seeing that the armor not very effective. The Bombing Cinder though does add some damage, so is kind of nice there. And the Vision of the Empire does manage to land onto Bolt. Everything landing, all the skill shots. The Ascendant, I mean, this is just a whole different beast. He's like leveled up since the last game. I'm not sure what's changed, but he's on point right now in lane, just abusing MG Control on that bot side there. That being said, for MG Nitro, it is going to be Bolt with that double kill in that bot lane. So did come back with the tier, with the pickaxe as well. And we've seen how this goes with that much of an item lead. He can just really run over the Ezreal in the early to mid game. And we'll have to see if that indeed does happen as Moxar goes back and matches his buys with the tier and the pickaxe as well. And Teemin looking for a repeat gank into the bot lane here. Him and Ascendant just sitting together in a bush here, waiting for Moxar to come back. And now Teemin flanking around. This should be just perfect here. The Kai'Sa W doesn't find him. Instead, they're going to lantern their way out into the bush. Can they get away? Vision of the Empire with the Flay comes out. The only thing is they're deep in there right now. And what did MG Bolt? What on earth? He just popped the blast cone in the wrong direction. Now he's in a very, very dangerous position. Alpals though, it's a bit of a split here. The death sentence does not land. And that's going to be MG Control going down in a second. He's bought some time with the stopwatch here. And Throguard coming in. Does he have the passive though? I think, yeah, he still has it. It didn't go down the last fight. We will be taking around a beautiful 2-man shockwave. Is going to see Moxar go down, but at what cost? MG Bolts did as well. Piglet not healthy, and that's going to be Throguard dead to rights as well. That is going to be a 3-for-1. Great play from 7 men there. And to a certain extent, I feel like I have to criticize MG Control at this point, because if he had landed that death sentence, things would have been so different. Alpals was getting, I mean, yes, we did see MG Bolt and Control being collapsed on at this, like, but at the same time, so was Alpals, and it was a question of who pulls the trigger, who finds the kills first. And unfortunately, because of the missed death sentence, it was Control getting burst down. MG Bolt as well, popping the Scryers all, not the Scryers, the Blast Cone, pardon me. Cost him so much that they could have just taken the blast cone over the wall, but because he popped it, they end up going down. Good news is they do manage to pick up the first Drake of the game. It is going to be Cloud Drake going the way of MG Nitro, but this is not how they wanted the game to start, and we'll have to see how they continue playing this one out for now. And for Alpals, it's been a much better game 4 here compared to his game 3. He's already 2-0-2, and I think because the pace of the game isn't completely crazy and hectic, and because he's up against an Orianna who's a little bit more passive in lane, he's been having a much better time of it in lane, and they could look to just repeat ganks over and over again. The Unleashed power almost available for Alpals. In the top side though, Bright and Bush not enjoying it here, as it does look like the Bread Smuggler was having a time of his life up there, bullying him out, forcing him to recall multiple times till Teemin showed up. And Teemin on this Vi just knows the champion so well. He's able to put out the burst damage and just absolutely shred everybody. He is going Hail of Blades. There was sort of an interesting build that was coming out for Vi's, which either included sort of either Phase Rush or Electrocute, and both were built around sort of Burst Vi. And so far, that's been what we've been seeing out of Teemin in this early game is Burst Vi. And it's been doing work. He's already 3-1-5. He's 100% KP for his team, and that's why you see teams banning it out against him. Just because he's basically almost omnipresent on the map, ubiquitous in terms of his presence here. And now the Assault and Battery coming out onto MG Bolt. The Lantern comes out, but will it be enough? The box as well. And it actually might be here as Teemin gonna go down. The shield pops up. They get a double kill, but they do feed a bit of a bounty over to MG Bolt instead, as well as the jungler going down here. So they managed to trade 2 for 1. And that's going to slow down MG Bolt for now. The unfortunate thing in the bot lane right now for 7 men is none of the kills have made their way onto Mookstar right now. 1 onto Teemin, 4 onto the Ascendant. That's a bit rough for Mookstar. He does want to skill up, does want to try and build items as fast as he can to sort of get over that early game hump. The good news though is that Swain is not your standard support. He's not like a defensive tank, nor is he that sort of support enchanter. He's a mage in his own right, and when he gets a hit, he can pump out a lot of damage. MG Nitro recognizing Teemin died in that bot lane. Instantly, you see them on Shelly. They're going to get themselves the Herald on this top side here. And they do kind of some strength on the top side with Bread Smuggler doing well in lane against Bright in bush here. But other than that, they're right now losing pretty much across the board here. No other lane having, the bot lane also having an advantage. And actually the Bread Smuggler, despite winning lane, is down in gold. And now MG Piglet has to be careful. The gank squad is here. A beautiful stopwatch to nullify the unleashed power, and a good roam from MG Control as he does drag them under turret here. Unfortunately, Piglet overestimated damage. He got a good command shockwave, but now will go down. A throw guard showing up. Can he find the kills here? Maybe he can, but MG Control, the target there, is tanky enough to survive. The Assault and Battery going to drag Teemin under the turret, and they answer that one 2 for 1 in the mid lane. That's a great reversal, a great start for them. Topside, the Bread Smuggler trading with Bright in bush here, and the Bright in bush is taking a lot of damage from the minions. He has to be careful about that, not to mention the Bread Smuggler as well. But the Bread Smuggler getting taunted on the turret, this is going to be it for him. He took one too many turret shots, was a little overconfident. The Stormbringer buys him time, but he will still go down in the 1v1, and that's bad news bears for MG Nitro here. Only the bot lane really winning out for now, but we've already seen it kind of doesn't matter even if he does win the bot lane. It's not that he has to win it, he has to smash it so that Mookstar does not come online here. And to that end, they've decided to commit a throw guard down here. They're going to drop Shelly as well. They're just looking to pressure onto the start, get first turret here, and make it unsafe for Mookstar to continue farming up. They're going to be able to get it easy here. That's first turret going to MG Maestro, and that's going to bounce out a lot of the gold. And Shelly going to be able to get a second charge off. Teemin actually waiting in the wings, but he gets pulled in. Will not be able to even get the Vault Breaker off. That's going to be that cancelled for now. Is the throw guard going to go in? Yes, he is. Just for a bit of poke. Then he's going to take the Lantern back out to safety for now. We'll be perfectly fine. Just a bit of cheeky poke under the turret there. And the Inferno is coming up in 5 seconds. Both junglers kind of low. Are they going to be able to get it? No, the auto not connecting in time will fly across the map and will eventually connect onto throw guard back at Fountain. Pels though gonna get hit by that death sentence, and the sheer burst they put out, the barrier, the shield coming out from Stand United will not beat up. He's gonna go down, and to start the fight off, he's gonna be dead, but Mookstar here to clean up. Teemin able to find one as well. That's gonna be a 2 for 1 here, and Teemin being there means they can go for the Drake. They've lost 2 turrets. Topside did go down to the Bread Smuggler there, but they will be able to pick up an Inferno to boot. And knowing the way these two teams play, Inferno is going to be absolutely massive. A throw guard hops across, will not be able to find the knock up on the slingshot, but will be able to take down Teemin. They have enough damage. Now it's MG Bolt and Mookstar trading 1v1, but Mookstar is behind. He's going to use the heal. He actually managed to get the shutdown there. Just barely. He will not be able to survive a throw guard though. They're going to trade 2 for 1. But honestly, that's a win in Mookstar's book because he does manage to pick up a bounty for himself. Zach, throw guard, picking up the bounty on Teemin. Not exactly what they wanted here. And we now do see the mana munes complete for both Bolt and Mookstar. Bolt able to pick up the Rage Blade as well. He's now 4-4, has not been engaging these engages anywhere near as well as he did in game 1 here. And as for Mookstar, he's built the Sheen, he's built the mana mune. He doesn't have the completed item that MG Bolt does, but he doesn't care because he's got himself a nice pair of Ionian cooldown boots, and that's going to let him spam his abilities that much more. Teemin and the Bread Smuggler fighting over this objective. It's going to be Teemin securing that with a punch there. And the Bread Smuggler going to get bursted down, looking like he was going to win that with the Stormbringer, but the Unleashed power changing that, and now the Ascendant getting rooted up. Has to be careful. He's going to go golden, does not have the Demonic Ascension, means he will not get out alive. And a Throgar picking that one up. There's a 400 gold bounty on the Ascendant there. His 4, 2, and 6 score was monstrous. But Teemin is here, and Teemin looking for control. They burst him down. The taunt comes across MG Bolt. He's going nowhere. Only the Throgar left behind, but he's a tank. Throgar just not having a good time this game in terms of trying to keep his carries alive. He's 4-1 and 5 himself, but just not able to sort of survive. The command shockwave comes across. They find Teemin. The teleport from Bread Smuggler means that Bread and Bush is going to take a pounding here. He manages to taunt over, but the Krugs might actually finish him here. Now he's looking to teleport from that top side. Can he do it? Yes, he can. He gets away. A beautiful escape from Bright and Bush here. The teleport play to get back into base. Great play from him. And despite the more measured pace of the game, if we look at the kills right now, it's 18-12. They've got 30 kills at 17.5 minutes. Yeah, it's not game 3, but it's still one hell of a fight between the two teams right now, as they just do not let off the gas pedal. They're constantly looking for advantages somewhere on the map. The concern here for MG Nitro is that this has also sped up the pace of the game, and as things go later and later, that's going to be advantageous towards 7 men with their Ezreal, with their Swain as compared to the Thresh. Topside, Bright and Bush has been doing really well too. He now has a level lead. He's 3-0-5 compared to Bread Smuggler's 1-3-1 as well. So it's not been working out well for MG Nitro right now. Not to mention, the Ascendant will eventually outskill the Thresh. We do see the Scatter Weak come across. Assault and Battery as well. They're going to easily pick up the kill onto MG Control. He's not tanky enough just yet. And Alpel is 3-2-8. Like I said, having a much, much better game 4 here. And that's going to give them Herald. And 7 men looking like they're in the driver's seat as they're in solidly into the mid game right here. And while we have seen Shen's not be very, very good throughout the summer split, Bright and Bush has been doing it right on this Shen here. He's been able to get the Sand Uniteds down where he needs to. Sure, he did lose out his lane earlier. Now a throw guard. Is he trying to throw again? He's jumped into the middle of 3, but he's so tanky right now. And he is surviving. The taunt from Bright and Bush is coming across, but he's tanking up the turret. He's taking a lot of damage. Bread Smuggler going to use that Stormbringer to get over the wall, and a beautiful command shockwave finds both Teemin and Bright and Bush. They're going to be able to force Teemin out, and Bright and Bush is dead, but Mooks are online already, just pumping out the damage now. Piglet able to pick him up. That's the bulk of this sustained teamfight damage down. Alpals does not have enough mana to continue this fight, and Piglet flashing under turret. Can he survive this? Yes, he can. And because Alpals was in there, he's going to go down. That was basically an ace here. A triple kill for MG Piglet, showing up huge on the Orianna here. And that just shows you an Orianna is not all about the shockwave. Yes, the shockwave was great. It hit to Bright and Bush and Teemin and managed to instantly burst down Bright and Bush there, but it did. But after that, you could see just how much damage the command dissonance constantly does. Teemin now wrapping around. He's walked into a throw guard and MG Control. I'm not sure he'll survive this one. Does manage to get over the wall. The True Shot Barrage comes out, but it does next to no damage here. The Trinity Force not completed, and neither is the Mana Mune. And the Mirror Mana part of it is not fully stacked yet, but a throw guard now the junglers here just throwing as hard as they can. Both ended up going into bad positions, but unfortunately for Throguard, he's in enemy territory, and it's going to be Muxtar taking that one. He gets a 450 gold bounty to boot here. While MG Nitro far back, they're actually in the lead after that fight here with the gold advantages. They end up throwing a little bit, and now it is going to be that Ocean Drake, the Ocean map here for both parties. Teeman starting this one up. It might be a little premature, but the rest of his team is here. Alpao is here. He gets a beautiful two-man scatter of the week. Piglet getting absolutely shredded there as Unleashed Power going to find him, and that's going to be Ocean going the way of 7 men. And what a back and forth game. The Bread Smuggler just ignoring everything else. He's going to go topside. He gets the inner turret in the topside. Meanwhile, we did see Bright and Bush dropping the Herald bot side. He gets another turret. They're firing back. And that is going to be the first turret for 7 men. And they're going to go for Bread Smuggler. But he's squishy. He's not tanky at all. He's going to get absolutely burst down right now by Teeman, and the shield comes out. It's just going to buy a split second before Teeman shoves the other gauntlet into his face. A Throguard now onto Alpals and Muxtar here. It's the 2 carries facing off against the tank. He's so tanky with that Spirit Visage, with the Cinderhawk, and now with the Giant's Belt to boot as well. But Muxtar can just shred him down. He's got enough sustained damage, and that's going to be a Throguard being forced back out there. Wow, the action just does not stop in this game right now. And if we can take a moment to take stock right now, both teams are dead even in gold. In that top lane, you can see, like I said, Bread Smuggler opting for the damage build instead. He's got the Gwinsu's Rage Blade, and looks like he might build a Nashor's Tooth potentially, or a Triforce. Looking more like the Nashor's Tooth at this point with that Fiendish Codex. Bright and Bush going that full split push Shen build with the Sunfire Cave and Tiamat. He's able to try and shove in waves right now. And if you look at the junglers here, this is where we see the discrepancy actually has shrunk significantly. If the Triforce Warriors enchant for Teeman, you can see he's going damage, and now he's looking for that Death's Dance as well for a Throguard. He's going straight tank, and you can see how much health it's given him here. He's sitting on, can't quite see how much, just shy of 3,000 gold here at 22 minutes. It's a solid amount. Oh, and a flash Vault Breaker coming across with the Assault and Battery. You can't cleanse Assault and Battery. It is a knock-up, so that QSS not working, and that's going to be another turret here for 7 men. They might be able to get the inhibitor turret. Unlikely though, as we see basing coming back out all across the map. They actually do manage to get it, and they might get inhibitor to boot here. We did see the recalls coming back. The Throguard does get back to base, but a great stall from Bright and Bush stop Piglet and MG control, and they get an inhibitor at 23 minutes. 7 men starting to look like they're trying to end this one here. They get that topside turret as well. They're just trying to stop the interrupts for now. A good taunt from Bright and Bush does catch onto MG control. The shockwave comes across, but it's not enough damage, and the Ascendant goes golden. He does not have the ultimate available, and now the rest of the team is here. They're going to look for MG Piglet. The Zonia's Hourglass is used, but the True Shot Barrage going to catch MG Piglet, who overstayed trying to get that death sentence. He gets popped as well, and now it is going to be MG Boat coming to clean up house. He finds Muxtar. He finds Alpals. Can he find any more? No, it doesn't look like it. He's out of mobility, but MG Nitro is finding a whole bunch of fights here as they manage to find 4 here. Teeman still sitting in the midst of the enemy base. He's pounding away on the turrets. He gets 1 extra turret. He's looking for the second one. The Kaisha W tags him, but there's no more ultimate available for MG Boat. Instead, it's going to be the Assault and Battery. The Vault Breaker comes across as well. Can they find MG Boat? No, they can't. Instead, it's going to Teeman tag get the turret. He's going to try to Vault Break away. Can he do it? Yes, he can, but he cannot run fast enough. And the Bread Smuggler is here as well. He's going to look for it. It's going to be a Throguard looking for it, but the Vault Breaker cooldown showing it's worth here as he does manage to get away. The slow being applied. Can he Vault Break one more time? Yes, he can. And Teeman, the sole survivor right now for 7 men, he gets away from this fight alive, and he stalls out the fight so that MG Nitro cannot find any advantages other than the kills that they got. And that's my voice blown out right there from about a solid 30 seconds of straight fighting from both sides. And MG Nitro, this seems to be the issue with them. They've actually been struggling a little bit with macro this series. 7 men have out macroed them, and they did it again here. Bright and Bush and the Ascendant doing an amazing job stopping the recalls of MG Piglet and Control in that top side. They just could not stop the push into their mid lane. And after all that action here, you can see that the Baron is being started up by 7 men. And as for MG Nitro, they lost vision, they lost control, and right now they look like they're trying to reset, but they didn't reset their ward line, so they have no clue Baron is being done. And we're going to see 7 men be able to pick this up, and given how 7 men played game 2 here with the Baron's buffs they got, they know how to play with the Baron buff, they know how to get advantages. And on top of that, considering they already cracked one of the inhibitor turrets, one of the inhibitors, they should have no problem. And now MG Nitro has to be careful. He might get caught out here. We do see the Vault Breaker, the immediate assault and battery as well. And that's going to see MG Control burst right down. And I've got to say, MG Control right now did not work out. That substitution for MG Nitro is not one that has really worked out in this game 5 here. And the Bread Smuggler into top lane either. Stormbreaker comes out. We do see the command shockwave. It lands onto Pals and teammate, but they've got enough shields for now. It's going to be Bread Smuggler bursts down instead. The Zonia's wore out, and that instant means Piglet is dead. Teammate finally goes down to Boat, and Boat is trying to kite it around. But can he do it? No, because Mookstar is going for him. He ends up hopping right into the middle of a Demon Ascension. Throwguard is back up, but he gets taunted up, and this is going to be game. 7 men have done it. They've won the semifinals and punched their ticket into the finals here. It's going to be a 3-1 series. Congratulations to 7 men as they end the series 26-30 in game 4 here. Absolutely great game here from 7 men. I mean, their picks were solid, but despite picking a slower, non-suicidal brawl composition, the pace of the game is so fast. It's only 26.5 minutes, and you can already see 5-2 and 12, 9-6 and 15, 5-5 and 12, 7-5 and 13, 6-4 and 15. The KDAs across the board, they found advantages. Team just accelerating the pace so quickly, and MG Nitro proved to be a great opponent. They matched them move for move all the way up to about 20 minutes, and that's when things just fell apart. It wasn't that MG Nitro couldn't fight them, they just got out macroed, and when they got out macroed, that's when things fell apart, because 7 men consistently found numbers advantages, and the gold lead just ballooned from neutral objectives. Even now, at the end of the game, the gold lead only 3,000 here. It's not a huge gold lead, it was just at the end, 7 men know their advantage, and they just pull the trigger, and that's it. GG. Well played to 7 men. And with that, that is going to mean MG Nitro falls to the 3rd place match between MG Nitro and DOV Nightfall here. In the meantime, it's going to be 7 men versus Exnol in the finals. And that will be an interesting matchup as well, because the only team that 7 men have not beat is actually Exnol. That was the week they forfeited, so they do miss the Exnol fight here. So this should be a sort of an interesting rematch between the two teams. And as for Exnol here, there was a bit of a triumvirate in the top, or a trinity in the top, with MG Nitro only losing 1 game, Exnol only losing 1 game, and 7 men only forfeiting 1 game. And the one team that Exnol lost to was MG Nitro. So now that 7 men have beat MG Nitro, you have to wonder how Exnol feel about this going into the finals. That sort of the match that never happened will now happen in the finals, and I am so much looking forward to it. And as for 7 men, they're starting to show a threat in all their lanes. Mookstar, up to this point, has shown himself to be more of a passive utility-based ADC, but on this Ezreal, he's shown himself to be a great carry threat as well. And the Ascendant on this Swain is looking kind of scary too. So there's bans you need to throw into all lanes. In the top lane, there's the Kale, the Darius, for Bright and Bush. And in the jungle, the ever-present Vi and Lee Sin bans. Or maybe not the Lee Sin, but the Vi has been ever-present throughout the league. Pals redeeming his Game 3 Syndra play with his Game 4 Syndra play. He's got quite a diverse champion, but it's hard to ban him out as well. And now with the Ezreal in the bot lane, with the Swain, well, teams are going to have their hands full trying to handle 7 men. And so once again with that, congratulations to 7 men as they win this series against MG Nitro. And with that, we are done with the Noxus division. We are done with all the semifinals. Unfortunately, we don't have the Exnol DOV Nightfall game, so we won't be able to cast that one. And we're now into the finals here with 7 men, like I said, facing off against Exnol for the Demacia division. It's a rematch of SFAD, the returning Kings versus DOV Chaos, top of the regular season in the silver standings. It's going to be Roar Yodos facing off against Hype Esports here, and all that will happen this Friday. So make sure you come on and watch this Friday's game. We will most likely be streaming actually 7 men versus X-Null here most likely. So stay tuned for that one as we finish off this week in the finals. And with that, thank you for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Stay safe, and we'll see you later this week.